Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we will discuss how to analyze the intensity of change in the career life according to Vedic astrology. We will observe 3 levels of change that will include the income, identity and extreme form of these. We will analyze the 10 from the moon, Arudha, Navamsha, Dashamsa and the Parivartana. These terms now may sound a bit exotic, but I will try to explain them one by one. If you are brand new here, my name is rgendarz and this channel is all about Vedic astrology in the tradition of Sri Achyutananda with the analytical experience and research-based approach. So if you like the video, please click the thumbs up, and if you like to be notified about similar videos in the future, please subscribe with the bell notification on. And now let's dive right into the video. So in this chart we have 2 Parivartanas. The first is very easy to see. This is between the Mars and Mercury, because the Mars is in the Virgo, mercurial sign, and Mercury is in the Scorpio, which is the sign of the Mars. So they exchange their placement. The Parivartana is when the 2 planets are exchanging their signs. This is the strongest type of yoga. The other type of formation of the yogas are conjunction and drishti. The other Parivartana in this chart is Rahu is loading Virgo, where Ketu is placed, and Ketu is loading the Pisces, where Rahu is placed. So Rahu and Ketu are also exchanging their signs. So now, since we have found the Parivartana, we can see how this will influence all the elements of the chart. And we see that the moon here is in the Aries, 10 from Aries is the Capricorn, and the lord of Capricorn is Saturn with the Rahu. So 10th lord from the moon is Saturn, which is joined the Rahu. So now we know that Rahu was involved in that Parivartana, and also all these planets which join Rahu, they will also be involved in that change. Because the Parivartana basically means that they will occur some big change in life. And because this involves the 10th lord from the moon, this will be related to career life. Not only to career life, because other elements also will be involved, but the career life also will be part of this change. So now we know that this change will be from the Saturn and Rahu in the 4th house to the Mars, Jupiter and Ketu in the 10th house. So we will now try to understand what is going on in the 10th house. So this is the chart of Yumin Bey, who is astrologer, and he got interested into Western astrology first during the listening to the radio show in summer '92. And then after the breakup, he just went to a library and he found the book, The Complete Astrologer by Derek and Julia Parker, and that has started his studies. And he studied 12 hours for 6 months. Interestingly, these are number loaded by sun, because 12 signs and half a year, which is 6 months, is also ruled by sun. We see that the sun is joining the 10th lord, so maybe the 10th lord will show for how long you have to study to get the CD, because 10th house is involved in the CD. The other option would be the 5th lord, because 5th lord shows the knowledge, and here because Mars and Mercury have this Parivartana exchange, the sun will have strong relation to the 5th lord, so then this may show that you need to learn or study for 6 months to achieve some level of expertise. So now we would say that this is a long, very intense study. 12 hours a day is not a joke. And Mars and Ketu is just showing that, because Mars and Ketu are showing the Pisacha yoga, and this may show that one is very fixated on something, has hard time to rest, and we were taught that people like that are dancing all the time, which shows that they are moving, acting, they are involved in something. And luckily here, this is involved in that 10th house, so this big energy is channelized in the work. So when that Parivartana, that exchange happened, this exchange was related to work, and now we know that when that happened, he couldn't stop, he was studying all the time. I have also found this Mars and Ketu in other astrologers' chart: Viola Keane Carter, George Borkowski, Gottfried Angeli, Martin Harvey, Marian Peyton and Helen Huber. So now let's go further into this 10th house investigation. We have here also the Jupiter and Ketu, which is the Parampara yoga, and this shows the person is involved in some kind of tradition, is very pure and is involved in some universities, studies, academics and so on. And as we can suspect, this also will be present in the astrologers, but especially those who are related to some kind of traditional school. And here we have the Donna Jean Sneed, Rosemary Pantelis, Martin Harvey and Marian Peyton. So the 10th house will show how much energy we are giving to the work. So Ketu is the first one. He is the very hard worker, very strong stamina, very strong focus, fixation, dedication. Then we have this Agni Grahas, and here we have the Mars. So it's like very big dedication, a lot of energy, a lot of effort is given to attain that tithi. Interestingly, 10th house is the house and the Ketu is the planet which is related to tithi. Tithi is the perfection. What is more, the 10th Lord Mercury is with the Sun and in the sign of Mars Scorpio. So we have like 4 connection to some fire in the 10th house, which gives extreme high stamina for work. Lagna Lord in 10th house is the Siddhi Yoga, which is giving the perfection, and the dispositor is that Sun and Mercury in the 12th house. So the Sun and Mercury is Nipuna Yoga, which gives expertise. This is in the Scorpio, in the sign of astrology, esoterics, occult studies. This is in the 12th house, very much related to astrology. There are also other astrologers yoga here. So now we have the 2 12th lords, Mars and Ketu. Mars is also the 5th lord. So 5th lord is also with the 12th lord. So when the 12th is related to fire or the 5th house, one has the knowledge of astrology. So now we see that this Pisacha yoga is really giving him perfection and also the knowledge. The other would be Atmakaraka, has to be related to 11th house, and here the Venus, which is Atmakaraka, is loading the 11th house. Other examples with such position are Lee Lehman, Atmakaraka loading the 11th house Mercury, Bordoni Grazia, Atmakaraka Venus is loading the 11th house, Heidi Trier, Rasidrishtion 11th Lord and being the dispositor of 11th Lord, Bailey George, Atmakaraka in the 11th house Mars, and then Mark Magdananon with the Atmakaraka lording the 11th house. So far we have explained that the exchange of Rahu and Ketu was involving the 10th lord from the moon Saturn, which shows that this exchange, this change in personal life, this transformation will be involving the work. Then we have found that this transformation is going to the 10th house, Jupiter, Mars and Ketu, and we have just explained those yogas. We were saying about the Pisacha yoga, which is giving the very high stamina, especially in the 10th house. The person is dancing with the knowledge and perfection, now we can know because of the lordship. Then we have this Parampara, so this means that person will be part of some kind of tradition, and there is the Siddha Yoga, Lagna Lord in 10th house, which shows that the person is really striving for it. It's not only happening circumstantially for him, but he's really desiring it, he's really striving for it, he really likes it, because the Lagna Lord shows our likes and preferences. So just to complete the studies, we have to see the Navamsha, and in the Navamsha there is the Trikona, 1st, 5th and 9th. These houses in the Navamsha are showing the skills we have. And Navamsha is the part of 16 additional charts, which are called Varga charts. And they are showing specific areas of life, bigger accuracy, detail and timings. And Navamsha and Shastyamsa, according to Jataka Parijata, are 3 most important divisional charts. Nava means 9 and Amsa means division. So this chart of Navamsha is created by dividing the sign or the house on 9 parts. Each part will have 3 degrees and 20 minutes. And then we are allocating the planets based on the placement in the house and based on the sign. And because this Navamsha is coming from the 9th house, this chart will show our nature and our fortune. So we also know that there are 3 Dimant Grahas according to Parashara. Dimant are the planets which are giving intelligence. They are Sun, Jupiter, Rahu and Ketu. So when these are in Trikona to Navamsha Lagna, then the person has skills in astrology. And here we see that the Rahu is only in the Lagna, but we can also see this in Trikona to Karakamsha. The Venus is Atmakaraka. What is interestingly, it's Atmakaraka Venus, Vargotam. Vargotam means the same sign in Rashi and Navamsha. He was also a Muslim. So this Venus, for people who are following Quran, is very important. With the Sun in the Sagittarius. So when the Sun is in the Sagittarius in the Navamsha, it promotes more moksha. When the Sun is in Gemini, it promotes more enjoyment. And here, because the Venus is Vargotam, it may show that person is very passionate about something, and because it's loading of 11th house, this also includes the tradition. So someone can ask why you are seeing the 10th from moon, not 10th from the Lagna. In fact, we are seeing both. 10th from the ascendant is just based on the nature, right? We have some sign in the ascendant. This is showing our nature, attitude to all areas of life. And then based on the sign, we are going by order of signs, we will go to the 10th house. So the 10th house is how we work based on our nature, how much we can dedicate, how is our stamina. It's all very biological. But 10th from moon, it is rising with the time based on the socio-economic situation we have. So therefore, it shows how society is giving us possibility to be sustained, to get the income. If the Kendra to moon are very strong, person is very popular. If the Kendra to Lagna, it's more personal life, we could say. And here we see that 10 from the Lagna, so his nature, his preferences, his projects, his personal projects are involved with the 10th from moon because of the parivartana. So we could say that this knowledge he studies, his personal projects, are becoming then after some time the part of the society, and because of that he may become popular. So all that was the first level, 10th from the moon. The second level would be the Arudha. When the 10th from the moon change, then it means that just the circumstances of income may change. how you are getting the money. Maybe you are going abroad. Maybe you are going back to your city where you were born. But with the Arudha change, this involves a lot more, because Arudha is your identity. Like, for example, there are people who want to be associated only in that academical surroundings. They are using this technical jargon, they are into schools, into academia. So this is when Jupiter is related somehow to the Arudha Lagna. Sometimes when the moon is there, then people can be into a social work very much. With the sun, we have people involved in politics or administration. So this is not only now the type of job, but this is the whole identity of you, which influences your mind, and then based on that identity, how you perceive yourself and also how others see you, you are then choosing the job within that group of jobs which are falling in that identity color. So this is how the Arudha is giving you the choices of work. So here we can see that original Arudha is falling into the Pisces, but when the 7th house is stronger, it can jump to the 10th house. And here we can see that this is jumping to the 10th house, and this is even more because of that exchange, right? So now we can see that with that change of job, it was not only that, but it was much more. It was the whole change of identity. And the third level of change is not only 10th from the moon, it's not only the Arudha, but the nodes are involved, Rahu and Ketu. So this is making things even more extreme, because you are changing from one periphery to the other, because the nodes are the periphery of the moon and they are totally opposite. So if you are jumping from Ketu to Rahu, then the change is very extreme. And then if we want to time exactly when that happens, we have to use the dasha and the dashamsa. When you are changing the job, then we are seeing the 3rd and 8th. When it's more about the business, then we have to see the 7th house. And here the 7th lord is a Saturn aspected by Rasi Drishti by this Mercury and Moon from the Scorpio. So this is showing publishing. Mercury and Moon shows publishing, writing, related to the Scorpio, again, occult studies. This is aspecting the 7th lord, so it shows that this will be his business. You can also see that his career life will be dedicated to knowledge, because 10th lord from Rashi, the Mercury, is in the Trikona in the Dashamsa. Also, there was some information that he was teaching in the university. So we see that Jupiter, being the 6th lord, is in the 2nd house. So now the 6th, 2nd and 10th in the Dashamsa shows in which jobs or positions you can be employed. If you would like me to assist you with interpreting your yogas in the chart, or you need any help in any part of your life, then just hit me up in the mail below and we can schedule the time for your reading. Okay guys, so that's gonna be it for me. I hope you find it interesting and informative. If you do, please click that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and see you in the next one.